Guys, it's me, it's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So, I got a message from a woman, and I thought this was very interesting. She said, how do you deal with a non-communicative Aquarius? How do you find out where you stand with this person? And when I read that, the first thing that came to my mind was, I hear this a lot. I'm in communication with about 50 different couples. And in these couples, 50 different couples that are Aquarius. So one person's Aquarius and the other person is something else. So I'm in communication. Most of these are my clients or people that I know. At least 50 different couples. And oftentimes I hear this complaint about them being non-communicative or clamming up when it's time to talk about something, shutting down, that kind of thing. I've heard this many times. So I've had this discussion, I can't even tell you how many times, right? So as soon as I saw it, it was like, it was like, the word non-communicative was like, like a red flag to me. It was like waving it in front of a bull. Because I tell them, I'm telling you, I tell anybody who will listen, you cannot have a relationship with a person who doesn't know how to communicate. Period. So where do you stand? Nowhere. Nowhere. Because you don't have a real relationship. All you have is something that's temporary at best. Why do I say that? Two people who want to love each other, who want to be partners, have to talk. Think about a business. Could you and I run a bakery and never talk about our business plan, our mission statement, what we're going to sell, our prices, the neighborhood we're going to put the building in? No. We could never have a business relationship, a partnership, without talking about where do we stand, how do we move forward, what do we want to produce. It's the same thing in a relationship. This is your partner. So if you can't get your partner to discuss things with you that are important, that shouldn't be your partner. Okay? And that's what I've been telling people from the hilltop. This person has to start communicating. In a relationship like that, think about what I said about borrowed time. You got three things that are going to happen. Number one, this person will change. This person will see that being non-communicative is a problem, like I did. And this is a bad character trait, like I did. And it has to change. Number two, they will keep on doing exactly what they're doing and nothing will change. Or number three, you will decide to settle for this non-communicative relationship where you have to play pet detective, use tarot cards, smoke signals, clues, context clues, behavior patterns to see what's going on with your lover, because they'll never tell you. And you know what's going to happen with that? You're going to get tired of that. You're going to get tired of that. And some people just settle for it. Like I said, number three, some people do just settle for it, but they're never happy. Whenever you settle for anything, you're not happy. You're just existing. And living your best life is not just existing. We didn't come here to just exist. We came here to thrive. You see? You want to be happy. You want to be happy at least most of the time. Nobody promised us an unbalanced life of happiness all the time. Okay? That's a fallacy. When people say to me, why do bad things happen? Bad things are always going to happen because the universe is light and dark. Nobody promised us eternal happiness and utopia dancing in the streets. Okay? You're going to have good moments and you're going to have bad moments. That's just the bottom line. But most of your moments should be pleasant. They should be. Unpleasantness here and there is going to occur. But if all your moments are unpleasant, then something is wrong. You're not living your best life and you need to make some changes. Okay? So you're not going to be happy with this non-communicative asshole Aquarius, is the bottom line. I'm Aquarius. I will never tell y'all to put up with the bad behavior of an Aquarius. Ever. I wouldn't put up with it. I would tell this person that I need you to be communicative. I need to know where I stand with you. I need you to be a partner. And if that's not what you want, that's cool. But I'm not staying in this relationship. If you're not willing to work through this with me, then we don't have anything that's real. And that's the bottom line. Now, if this person, now, and don't fall for them just saying, okay, let's work on it. No. Their actions. So right then and there, y'all have to make a plan of how are we going to communicate better? Are we going to go to a therapist or to classes or find a workshop or get self-help books? What are we going to do specifically to work on our communication as a couple? And you know I got a book and I'm going to put it underneath this video, right? Definitely. But that's your question to the Aquarius. What are we going to do? We need a concrete plan. When we're going to start, we need a date. Okay, next week, we're going to go talk with a therapist about nonviolent communication, about communication in a couple, and we're going to start going once a week. Okay? And we're going to try the exercises. We're going to work through this. I'm committing myself to working through this issue with you as long as you put forth the effort. And if it's both your issue, I'm willing to work on our issue. And a lot of times I do word things as our, because some of the times if you tell somebody like we're going to go work on your issue, then they don't go over too well. So I usually say things that is like, let's go work on our relationship. Let's work on our communication, because it takes two to tango. So that's how I come at a person with it. And if that person, that Aquarius, is not open to changing their communication style, then they're not serious about being in a relationship with you. And you need to move on. Because all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. You can't have a partnership with a non-communicative person. So if you tell them this today, things will start to get better today. If you say, oh, just wait, you're not going to see any change. So let's say you wait 6 months. Let's say you wait 9 months. No change. You're still in the same space. So you're just prolonging the inevitable. You have to work on it or let it go, period. And a lot of people that I know that don't have this conversation, I'm going to be honest with you, they're not having the conversation because they're scared. They're scared that if I say that to the Aquarius is going to get angry and the Aquarius is going to escape. And I tell them, let the Aquarius leave then. Because if they're not willing to work on this with you, they're going to leave eventually anyway. And why prolong that? We need to work on this or you need to bounce today. Why prolong that? Because you see what happens when you prolong it and you end up leaving anyway. 6 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, you end up giving up eventually anyway. But you know what you've done? You've made it worse for you. You've allowed yourself to get hurt all this time. You've dishonored yourself all this time. Your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-love has all taken hits all this time. So if it takes 6 months, 2 years, 20 years, that's more damage you've done to yourself. So you've let another person into your life that has now damaged you. And you put up with them for whatever amount of time you put up with them for. You see? So all you're doing is giving yourself more time to be victimized, is the bottom line. So if they're going to leave from you having this conversation, then let them go. Let them go today so you ain't got to be dealing with that shit tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? The person that wants to be with you is going to be open to working with you. Lots of couples have to do things like this. Some of them don't tell you the truth about their relationship and how they had to go to workshops and how they had to do stuff. They don't tell everybody their business. But this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing, because we're not all taught how to do this kind of thing. Our parents don't even know some of the times. Grandparents don't even know. How many of you grew up in a household where your parents were arguing, they were fighting, they were non-communicative? They didn't talk to each other in a kind, in a loving kind of way. How many of us grew up in households where, if they were, we didn't see the communication, so we don't know how to communicate with our lovers? How many of you learned how to communicate with your lover through television sitcoms like I did? And romantic comedies, and Disney movies, That's where I got my personal communication from. I'm like, oh, okay. So I know how to say a lot of flowery words. When I'm talking to a woman, I'm a silver-tongued devil. I know how to say a lot of flowery words and write poetry and send her poems and all that kind of thing. But I didn't know how to get into my heart and really express my feelings and deal with my feelings and talk about my feelings. That came with work. So it's cool because it can be learned. A lot of us don't grow up with it, but the information is there. We live in the information age. Anything you're not good at that you need to know how to do, you can find a program, a YouTube video, a book. You can find the information now. Can't communicate with your lover? There's a workshop online. Don't know how to talk to your spouse? There's a workshop at the local community center. We live in the information age. All you have to do is go find it and do the work. But see, many people don't want to do that. They don't want to do the work, and they don't want to have the conversations. So, sweetie, this is the bottom line. If you're dealing with a non-communicative Aquarius and you want to know where you stand, look him in his eye and ask him. Look him in his eye and ask him, where do we stand? Where is this going? Are you willing to work with me to have better communication? And if he says yes, then watch his effort. If he says no, I would move on. If he says yes and then doesn't put forth any effort, I'd have one more conversation and then I'd move on. Don't ever be afraid. This is my Aquarius in me. My Aquarius in me is like, look, don't ever be afraid to walk away from someone who's not treating you the way you deserve to be treated. That's the self-love part that a lot of people miss. You are important. And if the person that you're with doesn't treat you like you're important, then that shouldn't be the person that you're with. If they won't even tell you where you stand, how y'all gonna raise kids together? How y'all gonna have a family? How y'all gonna have a real partnership when they can't even talk to you? I wouldn't settle for that. That's selling yourself short. Okay? Look him in the eye, ask these tough questions, get the answers, and go from there. Okay? I hope that helps. All right, guys. It's time for me to get going. So if you would like to leave me a love donation, I will leave my PayPal underneath here. If you would like to get a tarot or oracle card reading, I would love to give you one. Please email me and make an appointment. I have some openings for next week. And my prices are very good. I only charge $20 for one question, $35 for half an hour, and $68 for an entire hour. Okay? Email me and get your appointment. I will also leave my email as well in case you want to ask a free general question. And remember, it's a general question. If you want to ask me something specific about your situation, that's not a general question. That's something you need a reading for. Okay? A general question is like, why are Aquarius so eccentric? That's a general question. Okay? Something that I can answer off the top of my head for anybody. Okay? Likewise, I'll leave my social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I use Facebook. I love Facebook. And Instagram, I check like once a day just to see if anybody's out there. Okay? Okay, guys. Take care. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who may be dealing with a non-communicative Aquarius. Aquarius, look, I love y'all. Y'all me. But we in 2019, we gonna do better. Okay? We all gonna do better. See you later.